What's up, Podcast Land? Episode number 118, featuring Up From Here, is brought to you by Silence and Solitude. Based out of Southern New Jersey, Silence and Solitude is a metalcore quintet that consists of Shane Roxas, Colby Hempel, Cody Mitchell, Alexander Coates, and Justin Pomper. The band formed in early 2015 and made their debut in September of the following year, 2016, having spent the previous year writing and recording. And what did that lead to? Well, their debut album, Resurgence, which came out in December of 2016, last year, and it also debuted at number 20 on the iTunes Metal charts. They have released music videos for their singles Suffering, Deceiver, and for the cover of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. They all can't be home runs, people. But I know something that is a home run, and that's Resurgence, and New Transcendence basically said that. They said Resurgence is a must-listen for 2016, without a doubt, especially for fans of metal and its subgenres. If you're looking for something that is emotionally powerful, but not too whiny. Oof, that was aggressive. Like this album, it is aggressive, but not hate-filled, and will stand the test of time. This is the album you've been searching for. For more information, visit www.silenceandsolitude.com. Episode number 118 also is brought to you by 627. Imagine the Foo Fighters and Muse stuffed in an underground studio during the nuclear holocaust, with nothing but Weezer and Radiohead albums to session. You know what? It's pretty funny. I've been doing this ad for quite a while now. Who would hear it? I mean, like, internet is down. So how are these people going to hear it during the nuclear holocaust? I don't know. I'm just getting paid to read these ads. But it is kind of odd thinking about it. But anyways, if that hypothetical scenario does happen and there's internet and your internet speakers and your computer speakers or your phone, whatever works, and you could hear this, it's 627, delivering the attitude of an underdog and the punch of a champion. 627's chunky guitar riffs, charismatic vocals, and emotional solos are the most beautiful ass-whooping your ears have ever taken. For more information, hit up dub7records.com. That's dub, D-U-B, the number 7, records.com, and then like them on Facebook. Facebook.com/ written out 627 and then the numbers 627. So 627, 627. And lastly, the Behind the Barricade Podcast is great. Well, yeah, you knew that already. But you know what else is great? The Golden Hearts Festival, taking place August 9th and 10th at the Gramercy Theater in beautiful New York City on East 23rd Street. Come on out. It's a new festival that promotes the best New York City and New Jersey local bands. On day one, you have a bunch of great bands, including Jinx, and also approaching Troy is on that show. Day two, you have Varsity, you have Monument of Memory, you have Zoom, you have In Loving Memory, all those memory bands. You don't have to think about them in your memories. You can see them live. That's August 9th and 10th. Tickets are only $16 for each date. Come on out, show your support for this new festival, and support the local scene. So now, let's get into it. Episode 118, featuring Up From Here, ends with Mr. Kevin Pereira. Starts right now. From out of the wasteland of generic podcasts and radio shows, one has emerged. It prides itself on having conversations with the most talented musicians from all over the world. If you like a boring question and answer interview, this isn't for you. If you want deep conversations about anything and everything, you've come to the right place. Your new favorite show starts now, and its name is Behind the Barricade.
Danny, Alex, how are you guys today?
We're doing great. How about you?
Doing all right. So, Up From Here is this, it feels like this, story so far, but a lot more milder, pop punk, right? It's kind of...
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah? And it feels kind of aggressive, but at the same time still very, still very easy to swallow, think Real Friends. Yeah, Real Friends. Very, very, very much like them.
Cool.
Tell me more about your band, please.
Well, we are a pop punk band that started right in Tampa, Florida, and our main influences are like Mayday Parade, Real Friends, All Time Low,
Right.
stuff like that. Neck Deep,
Okay. All right.
anything in that realm.
All right. So definitely like Fall Out Boy, Paramore, like oldies, oldie influences like that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So and how did you guys come together?
The internet. Facebook.
So Craigslist, putting out ads. You guys haven't been playing together for very long.
Yeah, we've been playing together for about 2 years now. So.
All right, and
we all kind of like linked up on Facebook, honestly.
Huh. And how did and when did you guys get Up From Here? So tell me about the name. No.
Well, I didn't really take, but I got the name from a song by a band called Broadway.
Okay.
And that was like one of the main lines in the chorus is "There's nowhere to go but up from here," and so I really liked that message, and so I kind of wanted to start a group that was like focused on like a positive underlying message or feel to the songs.
Which is kind of ironic, considering that a lot of the influences that we just talked about they feel very gloomy and very and very sad. Talking about almost. Would it be appropriate to use the term emo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like almost like these emo themes of things are kind of rough and things are kind of bleak. But you guys have a different take that instrumental approach and turn it into something that's a little bit more positive.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we'll have to we don't have to, but we put we could use the word or the term emo to describe our sound too in a way, but that's just for the music aspect. And I mean, a lot of the songs might sound emo, but there's usually like I said before, like a positive underlying message. Naturally.
Yeah. And how did that come out? Was that your idea right off was that your guys' idea right off the bat, or did that just sort of naturally synthesize itself?
I think that's just kind of natural. I write all the lyrics, and that's just kind of like how I am too. It was more so towards the beginning that I was writing all these songs that were uplifting and stuff. But now it's kind of mixed in with, now that I've worked with other musicians and everything, it's really modified our sound for us to all be together.
Okay, all right.
And lyrics and whatnot.
All right. And again, you guys have been playing together for 2 years, but when did you guys actually come together as a band, right? When did that happen?
I think it was
2 months before that.
What's that?
2 months before we.
What was the question again?
Sorry, how long did it take you guys to go and actually, you had been playing together for a bit, and all of a sudden, did you guys just decide to go and brand yourselves as Up From Here after that, or was it,
we kind of, I came up with a name first before I really, we started off as an acoustic project, actually, and, it was just me and, my best friend from high school.
Okay.
And then, we added in the rest of the band and everything, and then I think it was 2 months after we were practicing and everything, we played our first show.
I see. That's awesome.
Yep.
All right. And what have you guys got coming? 2000. We're in the early part of 2017, right? And you guys in December 26th, 2016, you had released a music video, right?
Yep.
And what are you guys doing this year to go and follow up from that?
Well, currently we're writing a new record.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
We're gonna try to release something this year. So.
Okay. So.
And along with trying to tour as much as we can.
All right. So let's talk about your new record then. What have you guys what is the focus of this? What can we expect to hear?
Really just a more grown sound, I don't really know how to explain it. still in the realm of like pop punk and pop rock and everything, but just like it's more us, I think.
Okay, yeah. Okay, because because here and grown brings to mind ideas of maturity, right? But like, but that's such a, I feel like that's such a, a buzzword in music, and that doesn't, and it means something, but it doesn't really mean anything
Yeah.
What is?
So it's still like in the early phases, so it's kind of hard to really say exactly. But as far as like we can tell right now, we think that it's definitely going to be better than our old stuff.
Okay.
But it's still going to have the same kind of sound.
I see. All right. So definitely, but like less. I don't know. Less neon era. Forever the Sickest Kids. Sort of vibe, and more. I wouldn't. It would saying heart would be incorrect, but more.
I'd say it's somewhere in between. It's more of like an evolution of what we did before, where there's still that era of sound, but also the modernized of like the Knuckle Pucks and the Neck Deeps and the Real Friends mixed in
State
with that.
Champs, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, State Champs just dropped a new song, didn't they? Music video and everything.
Really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I hadn't actually heard. I had seen them, around Warped Tour when I went last year for the first time, but I never actually, heard them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like one of the like biggest like up and coming. Not really up and coming, but like they're like. Can I say bad words on this?
Sure. I mean, go ahead. I mean, this is.
I feel like in the pop punk world, they're like the shit right now.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Knuckle Puck, State Champs, Real Friends. They're all mainstays in the pop punk scene, as far as I understand, and yeah, and having a sound that comes close to them. All right. So then, here's my question: how do you like pop punk, carries the stigma of being what critics say is rehashed. It's the same 3-chord arrangements. It's it gets all this criticism. It's a fun genre by every means of the imagination. Don't even get me wrong. I'm asking how do you guys navigate that navigate music with that in mind, because I'm certain you've also heard that same exact argument that it's a very oversaturated sound.
Yeah,
like every genre is, really. Let's be honest, but
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like a lot of bands from all different genres that can be like that. Like it can have a really created sound. Like started off like I don't really know how to explain it. Like bands that will just go for the generic sound of what that genre is instead of mixing it in with their own genuine, authentic sound as well.
Okay. So we talk about authentic. So authentic sound is kind of It does. It like authentic sound, is that simply what we the songwriter, what we the musician is capable of. Our own unique style. Is that it? Hello?
Sound within their genre.
Okay. And that begins to ask authentic sound. Are we talking about the original organic content, or are we talking about simply the utilizing using our musicianship to the fullest extent?
I think it's a little of both. I think it's a matter of like, of course you've got to pick your like the genre that you really want to mainly be, but people have got to be able to see who you really are and kind of almost get to know you just by listening to your music.
That's true.
As like an individual.
That's true. They're also, like, and that's also kind of difficult because it feels like there's such a dissonance sometimes between the type of people and the music they play, right? For example, bands like, kind of out of place here, but Slipknot, Dillinger, the Dillinger Escape Plan,
Mm-hmm.
where there's, you have these, music, you have this music about, about violence and, and mental illness and all, and murder and crazy shit, but it's also like when you get off the stage and when they're finally like as themselves, they're actually completely calm people. They're so nice, you can just chill out.
Yeah. We've definitely seen that too. Like we play with a lot of like metal bands in our area, in the Tampa scene, and it's kind of the same way. You'll see like really aggressive music and people being really aggressive, like even the crowd like moshing and everything, and then you get down and talk to them and they're just, they're really passive and like regular guys.
And everyone's just so relaxed, right? So does that, so then we have to ask ourselves, is that really a question of, is that authenticity, or is it just, I don't know, is it just a well done act?
I don't know. It can be hard to say, I guess.
Yeah, these are just some things that I've been thinking about whenever I hear people talking about maturity or authenticity in their music.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I'm always wondering.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, my throat is just really bad right now, so I'm drinking. So I have some tea. To sort of soothe over my.
Yeah, you're good. I've been there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so Tampa, Florida. So let's talk about the Tampa, Florida scene, right? You know what else came out of Tampa? Under Oath came out of Tampa. Did you ever listen to them?
Yeah, definitely. Most of us kind of like grew up off of their music.
No kidding.
As teenagers and everything.
Yeah. That was actually the first ever heavy album that I listened to. Actually, the first full album technically that I listened to. It was back in 2006, right? Define the Gray Line had just come out.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother hands this album to me, and he's just like, Kevin, this is fantastic stuff, but no, like, I listened to it, I was like, what the hell is this, right? Like, I have no idea what it is, I have no idea what... I can't get around it at all. It's not music. Come on, man.
Yeah. But
listening to it so many years later, I think it's the most fantastic album. Do they still resonate with you? Even though you perform in a completely different genre, do you still get pleasure out of listening to their work?
Oh, definitely. I think sometimes we even get like even more pleasure out of listening to other genres.
Yeah.
Because we are so used to playing this other stuff, like our style, that it's kind of refreshing to hear something different.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Absolutely. And just to go and name off a few, what are some of those bands that you can still jam out to, that you can still listen to, and almost sort of get an inspiration of when you're coming up with new things?
Well, I guess really there's so many. Most of the music that I listened to when I was like anywhere from like 12, 13 to now was like Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, Paramore, all that stuff, and then came in like bands like Silverstein or like A Day to Remember.
Right.
And really, I still just listen to all of those bands so much, their old stuff and their new stuff, that it's either their old stuff that's inspiring me to write new music, or even like their new stuff. Like A Day to Remember just released their new album, and that one really gave me a lot of inspiration.
Bad Vibrations, huh?
Yeah.
Is it I've still yet to pick it up. I'm a little bit iffy, right? Because they've always
listen out, man.
They've all been so sort of hit and miss. Tell me about this album. Tell me about this album.
Well, Bad Vibrations is kind of like, it's kind of like, to me, I was able to grasp how it's still like so much like A Day to Remember, because there's like songs that are extremely heavy, and then there's songs that are like pop punk or just light and relaxed sounding, but all on the same album.
Ooh. Yeah, they've always been great about trying to go and mix the two of them without ever completely snuffing the other out.
Yeah, I feel like that's always been like one of their main things that made them, that I've always loved about them.
They're consistent, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and by listening to this and by listening to this album, I can get a good grasp of what you were kind of thinking when you were coming up with your new material.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, and like where else could one look to go and find more information about that?
I'm trying to think here for a second. I don't know. What about you, Alex?
Old school Fall Out Boy.
Old school Fall Out Boy, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah, I kind of agree too. Like, I know some of us get a lot of inspiration from like Knuckle Puck and.
Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be some Knuckle Puck-esque stuff in that.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I feel like some songs are gonna be like really aggressive sounding, like pop punk, like
The Story So Far.
Fast paced, like Story So Far, Knuckle Puck-esque, and then some of them will be like All Time Low, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I can get
Just
behind.
kinda-
I can get behind that.
A mixture of all those. Everywhere, like anywhere in the pop punk world, we'll probably pull
All right.
what kind of inspiration we can.
All right. That's fantastic, man. Like, no, just to be able to still jamming out to different genres, being able to craft a sound that's a little bit organic, and also playing to the best of your ability as well, right?
Yeah.
I feel like all of that is required for a solid album. And I really,
definitely.
and I definitely enjoyed just the simple aesthetic of your guys' music video, of you guys just pulling out of a van and starting and jamming out. Like, it was, do you have?
I feel like it's hard. It's sometimes bands will try to do like so much intricate stuff in their music videos, and sometimes they pull it off, and sometimes they don't. And we were trying to like think of all these ideas and everything, and literally the idea for that music video was like almost so last minute that like the our video producer was like showed up, and we were like, yeah, we still don't have any ideas, and he was like, okay, well, let's just like do it right here. And it went pretty well. So
yeah, absolutely. No, it was enjoyable. What do you mean, trying to do intricate, complex, things like that? Like, there's just a lot going on in the video?
like more than one location, like actors and like a storyline and whatnot.
Yeah?
Yeah, sometimes that works out really well for certain people, but
Like, I remember, like, when Fall Out Boy dropped Save Rock and Roll, like, they organized a music video for each of their songs and made it into, like, a series and everything.
yeah.
Like, that was...
And, All Time Low's two new singles that they put out, Dirty Laundry and, what's the other one called? I don't remember what the second one's called, but they kind of went together, too. Like, he's, like, in the laundromat or whatever, and then when he's done, it starts the next song. He drives up to the show and whatnot.
Okay, yeah. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Hot Shell Ray, remember those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh man, I miss them. But I remember I think they pulled a similar I remember they pulled a similar aesthetic going on with there was Honestly and I want to say it was called That's the Way I Like It. I like it.
Yeah.
No, I like it like that. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
I feel,
like that song.
and those videos were connected as well, right? It was weird, but yeah, it's definitely a familiar concept, and I can get what you're saying is that it can kind of get overwhelming that you spend too much time on the video and not much on the song itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. But other than that, what are your thoughts on the state of the pop punk scene as a whole? Right?
I think it's you're exploding.
I'm sorry?
The state of the pop punk scene is exploding right now.
Yeah, it's exploding. So let's...
I think in a year or two it's going to be back to where it was like in 2007 when you could turn on the alternative radio station that was like on your FM radio and hear like bands like stage jams and stuff like that. Whereas like in 2007 it was like that with like My Chemical Romance and The Killers and etc.
Oh, The Killers. God.
Yeah, that was a good band.
Dude, no, they're fantastic. One of my favorite songs is off of Day and Age. It's Spaceman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great one. Alex, could you please lean into the microphone actually, just a little bit?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So you're saying that it's exploding, and right now, the biggest pop punk festival of all time, Warped Tour, is going to be featuring a lot more heavy bands and stuff like that. Do you think that we'll ever actually see, a return to form with its original? We're gonna throw a bunch of old school, good, feel good punk that kind of drew us all there in the first place.
I wouldn't surprise me. This year, it's a lot of old school hardcore bands that used to be on it all the time, like Sick of It All and stuff like that. Used to play Warped Tour all the time back in the day, before it even got around when Blink-182 and stuff like that was blowing up. It was purely more of a hardcore and heavy festival, and then once pop punk became what it is, it started to invade it and take it over. So I know I know a lot of people that are really stoked on it this year because they haven't seen some of those bands in so many years, because they haven't done Warped Tour in so many years.
Right. So you wouldn't be, and what I'm taking away is that you can't really see it right now, but you wouldn't be surprised if it were to come back.
No, I think it could 100% come back for that reason.
All right.
And they're kind of doing it this year. I mean, they have Bowling for Soup on it, which is old school.
Yeah, no, they haven't put out anything new. They've just been kind of They've just been kind of.
Because they don't got to. They got Stacy's mom.
Right.
Or no, 1985, whatever that was. It was one of those two. They had one of those.
No, 1985 was Bowling for Soup because Stacy's mom was Fountains of Wayne.
Yeah, 1985.
Yeah.
They have 1985.
There's 1985, Girl All the Bad Guys Want.
Didn't they do a cover of Stacy's Mom?
Did they do a cover of Stacy's Mom?
I don't know, but no, they had some bangers, and they had Your Girlfriend's a Bitch, or whatever that one song is. Your girlfriend is the chorus is she's a bitch, but I love her anyway, or something like that.
There was also that cake you made, it really sucked, but I ate it, and that homemade porn that you made that I erased, well, I saved it.
Yeah.
I think it's called...
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, Friendly Goodbye, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love Bowling for Soup. But yeah, no, that's all crazy, and I might be able to go and experience that before Warped Tour, finally shuts down, because that's what Kevin Lyman keeps on hinting that it would do.
Yeah.
And that's really disappointing, because I loved it so much.
Yeah, no, he's saying he can't do it forever.
He can't do it forever. Nobody can really keep on doing anything forever. These bands keep on performing forever. Yeah.
Yeah, all these bands that got big off of Warped Tour won't go back to play it because they're too big for it now.
I mean, yeah, you're right. No, but
Panic or Fall Out Boy or even Pierce the Veil and All Time Low.
Didn't Katy Perry get her start playing Warped Tour?
Yep.
Yeah, Katy Perry did, yeah.
Yeah, she's
probably
probably
on that last year, though.
And so was G-Eazy.
G-Eazy was at Warped Tour?
The rapper.
Dude, what do I even I've been missing some crazy stuff. On the here up in Virginia, nothing interesting ever happens. So it's all of the good stuff just either goes right on by or it's in the other state.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to start making road trips now, but no kidding.
I was gonna say sometimes you got to travel for the good stuff.
No, you really do. That's absolutely correct. The Governor's Ball in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really want to go. I really want to be able to see the band Tool perform. I really want to see and Wiz Khalifa, being able to see both of them on the stage is just, that would be a treat for me.
Yeah,
as somebody who's kind of grown up with with exposure to both genres.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
But
I've actually been getting into rap more so the last couple of years.
All right.
I used to growing up, I just didn't like it at all, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what it is. It's just grown on me.
I think it's just because I mean, this is just me, right? Like, at first I honestly I couldn't get into it, right? I heard like, Power Man 85, this old new metal band from the 90s, and I was like, I'm not really a fan, right? Limp Bizkit's kind of gross,
Yeah.
and but when you
There's
hear
nothing wrong.
and like you hear and you hear some rap, and like the modern modern day rap is just kind of like it's not great at all.
Yeah.
But then you hear, but like you hear the giants like Big or Tupac, and things like that, and it reminds you what you're missing and what
Yeah.
It used to
Exactly.
be that like hip hop, the same way that rock used to be a great genre, like standalone rock and roll used to be about swagger and sex and drugs and living free. Rap, it used to be about this it used to be about trying to get through the day, trying to make it through, trying to because things are because the life is hard. People are making it difficult. Gang violence and
Yeah.
and crime just makes it hard to get by. A trip to the grocery store might be your last, right?
It was real.
It
life.
no man, it used to be so real, and then lately it's been trip hop or trap or
Exactly.
all,
like
these
just some. I'm not down talking it. I'm just not into like. I just feel like some of it's so created and no emotion and
Right.
or feels going on.
Do you know the artist?
Feels.
Do you know the artist Hobson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
So he dropped a skit completely ripping on the genre where he was like he starts it off with saying rap today sucks, guys. Like they're not even saying words anymore. They just drop a hard beat to trick everybody into thinking you like it. Let's just drop reverb and auto-tune on it. Nah, man, Jay-Z is still bands like people like Jay-Z, they've still got it, right?
Yeah.
And I still pumping, Afro Mans and Snoop Dogg, my room my roommate has been just showing me all of the stuff that I've missed out on for so long.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful, and I honestly
It was hilarious.
Afro Man was fantastic. Oh, dude, that's like we live in this building. We share it with Korean and Vietnamese people who are just their first time in the U.S. Right? On the first day of classes last year, we actually we brought them over to our place. We taught them drinking games, and we taught them got them listening to Afro Man and all of these different groups, and they loved it.
That's funny.
Oh, it was fantastic. So as we wind down today, is there anything that you guys would like to plug? How can our listeners find you on the internet?
Basically anywhere. I mean, you could find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias, and Spotify and iTunes, Google Music.
Up From Here is that on Twitter? Up From Here Twitter?
Yeah, all of our social medias are Up From Here Music.
All right. And what about just you guys, Danny, Byrne, Alex?
Yeah, we're all out there on all those social medias too.
Okay.
Just search our names and we'll come up.
And we can expect great things coming out of Tampa, Florida pretty soon.
Yeah,
all
for
right.
sure. We're pushing hard.
All right, and to all of our listeners, you can find me, Kevin Pereira, on Facebook, Twitter at Grand Theft Academia, that's GrndThftAcademia, and at Pereira.k on Instagram. Yeah, you guys, this was a great chat to have. I'm glad, I'm sorry about the internet cutting out halfway through, but
it's all good, man.
All in all, this was a great time. Really enjoyed it.
Sweet, yeah, same for us.
All right, well, we'll be in touch soon, yeah?
Yep, for sure.
All right, this is Up From Here, and Kevin Pereira signing out, folks. Take care.